Hey everyone, welcome back to Excel Funda. So today we are going to solve Leetcode problem number 3346. It's a maximum frequency of an element after performing operations. So this is problem number 1 from the operations 1. Okay. So we are going to solve this problem, and this problem looks very simple at first, but it's a beautiful mix of interval logic and sweep logic technique, you can say sweep line technique, you can say that, right? So once you complete this video, it will be crystal clear. So let's break it down in very simple steps, and by the end of this video you will become the master of the DSA pattern, in which you have to find the maximum frequency and how to perform, right? Let's try to understand and try to visualize the technique that I will show you in this video. Okay, so अगर आप beginner है तो कोई problem नहीं है. I'll explain in such a way that you can understand very simple way. Okay, so very first I'll suggest you should pause this video and go through the statement, what the statement is saying that. Okay, so I'll go through the slide first and then we'll come back to here again. So let's begin from here. So very first, what the question is saying that we have to find the maximum frequency of an element, right? Means हमें array दिया हुआ है, this is our array, right? And इसमें से हम operations apply करेंगे. How many operations are given, right? ये operation में दिया हुआ है, and we have given also k. Means दो चीज़ें हमें apart from the nums we have given, right? Means array के अलावा दो variables दिया हुआ है, k and number of operations. Okay, where we will use that we will understand here. Okay, very first we have given nums is 1 4 5 and k is 1 and number of operation is 2. Okay, now very first the number of operations means what, why it is given? It is saying that you have perform all those operations which is given. तो यहाँ पे हमें कितने ऑपरेशन दे रखे हैं? We have given 2 operations here, right? So we will perform the operation 2 times, right? How many times? 2 times. Okay, the question is different. Question is saying operations 1, but the question is, it's a pattern of this question where we have to find the maximum frequency after operations 1, but this is not that you have to perform only one time. Operations means हमें number of operations दिया हुआ है, from there we will operate the number of operations. So for example, for this example we will perform 2 operations 2 times on the given array. I am talking about this array. So give me 1 second. Okay, so let's try to understand that we have to select what is the operations we have to perform here, right? Very first we have to select the unvisited index, right? Means अगर हम index की बात करें, index is 0 1 2, right? Like that we have index. So let's suppose if I'll choose the index 0, so in the next operation I cannot choose this 0 again, right? So very first in each operations means 2 times जो operation use करना है, तो उसमें से first operation में मैं 0 पे use कर रहा, तो second time जो operation use करने जाएंगे तो 0 index हम use नहीं करेंगे, right? तो let's suppose कि हमारे पास जो operations हैं उसमें से क्या operation use करना है? 2 things you have to do. First, select unvisited index and take any value from the given range. Range we can get from where? K. K is, let's suppose we have given is 1. तो इसका रेंज क्या होगा? -k to k, right? So -1 to 1, right? You have seen the question, right? If you pause the question and you have gone through, you will see that it is saying go from -k to k. So हम k से ये एक रेंज हम गेट कर लेंगे, right? मैं जस्ट एग्जाम्पल एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ कि कैसे हम परफॉर्म करेंगे, क्वेश्चन क्या कह रहा है. ओके, फ्रॉम देयर आई विल गो थ्रू. ओके, सो k we have given is 1, so we can get a k in this range and then we will add the number to nums at I. So इसमें से कोई भी एक वैल्यू उठा लो और उस वैल्यू को उठा करके ऐड कर दो द गिवन इंडेक्स दैट यू हैव सिलेक्टेड, राइट, फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट पार्ट. क्या ऑपरेशन यूज करना है? यू विल सिलेक्ट nums at I, right, with respect to the unvisited index, and you will get any of this value and you will do the sum, and that sum should update this nums, right? This is what we have to perform. अब फिर उसके बाद मैक्सिमम फ्रीक्वेंसी गेट करेंगे. लेट्स सपोज व्हेन ऑपरेशन इज 1, बिकॉज ऑपरेशन वी हैव गिवन इज 2, राइट? सो मैं क्या करूंगा, यहाँ से ऑपरेशन इज इक्वल टू 1 वी विल यूज, राइट? सो व्हेन ऑपरेशन इज 1, सो लेट्स सपोज कि हम इंडेक्स 1 चूज करते हैं. एट इंडेक्स 1 हम क्या करें, वैल्यू 0 चूज़ करते हैं। हमें जो रेंज दिया हुआ है -1 0 1, इसमें से मैं 0 यूज़ कर सकता हूँ, राइट, ए नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स। तो हम 0 यहाँ से चूज़ करते हैं और क्या कहते हैं, नम्स एट आई जो दिया हुआ है ये 4 है, राइट। राइट, इसमें मैं क्या करूँ, 0 ऐड कर दूँ। इफ़ यू रिमेंबर द ओरिजिनल एरे इज 1 4 5, इसमें इंडेक्स नंबर 4 पे जो वैल्यू है, इंडेक्स नंबर 1 पे जो वैल्यू है वो 4 है और हमें 0 ऐड करना है, तो 0 + 4 इज नथिंग बट 4। सो नम्स विल रिमेन सेम, हम उसे कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ अपडेट कर रहे हैं, 0 अपडेट कर रहे हैं, बट नथिंग विल हैपन ऑन द इंडेक्स 1। नाउ लेट्स गो बैक टू द इंडेक्स 2। तो हमने क्या किया, ऑपरेशन 2। सो इंडेक्स 1 हमने ऑलरेडी चूज कर रखा है, तो हमारे पास दो इंडेक्सेस है 0 एंड 2। हम इस बार हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, वी आर गोइंग टू चूज इंडेक्स नंबर 2। when you are choosing the index number 2, you will add, let's suppose, not 0, now you have either you, so you can choose any of this value, -1 0 1, so we are choosing -1। so once you will -1, so nums at 2 पे क्या वैल्यू हमें दे रखा है, 4 5, right, sorry, 5 0 1 2। so nums at 2 is nothing but 5, we will do plus -1 and you will get 4। so now the nums is getting updated, right, so it will become 1 4 4। now you can see हमें 4 जो है 2 टाइम्स रिपीट कर रहा है, राइट, 2 टाइम्स। नम्स एट 4 इज नथिंग बट 2 टाइम्स वी आर गेटिंग। सो द मैक्सिमम फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ 1 is 1 and 4 is 2। so we'll say okay, max frequency is coming for the element is 2 for the element 4, okay, and we will get the answer। if you see the example 1, you will see the answer is this one, okay। so very simple naive approach में जैसे आप यूज कर सकते हो, कैसे कर सकते हैं कि आप एक वेरिएबल ले लो, राइट, लेट सपोज, लेट मी गो टू द हियर Eclipse, okay। let's suppose I'm talking about this example, okay। I have not reached the, give me 1 second guys, okay, now you can see the Eclipse, right, okay। so I'll show you how I have performed, right। very first, let's suppose we have given variables we have given, and I'm calling this function and we know that we expect the value is 2, right। हम लोग कैसे इसे यूज करेंगे, राइट। वेरी फर्स्ट विल गो थ्रू द विजिटेड इंडेक्स, विल क्रिएट अ विजिटेड इंडेक्स। लेट सपोज कि हमें जो भी इंडेक्स यूज करेंगे उसे ऐड करते जाएंगे यहाँ पे, राइट। तो वेरी फर्स्ट हम लोग क्या करेंगे, विल सॉर्ट दिस वेरिएबल, राइट, which is given in the nums। so all the elements will be get sorted and will create a visited index। so whenever we are going to visit that index, we'll mark this as a visited। so we are doing here is a marking the visited, marking visited index। so in the next operation we will not use, okay। so if it is not visited, we'll visit that index, right, and then this is our range from -k to k, right, we'll get all the value at a time and we'll keep updating the value। so nums will get updated, right, each time। internally you have to create a function that will get the frequency, right। so I have created another function here, we call the find the max frequency for this given when we update the value, right, or when we'll complete one operations, so each operation we will get the some value, right। in that case you will update this value, right, and you will get the index। how you will get the max frequency by using one count, and you will take a max variable, and over the array, right, you will start from 1। so current value with the previous value, if it's same, will increase the count, otherwise reset the count, right, and we'll check the max of their given value। so we are trying to find the max, we are you can say tracking the max value। once you will get the max value, right, it should be updated with the max, right, and then you will get the max value from here। so each time you are getting the max value here, okay। with respect to this, what you will need to do, you are also creating another value in this variable, the same thing you are doing, right। so you can get the max value, and in this case you will return the max। मीन्स जब भी हमें ऑपरेशंस कंप्लीट होता है, राइट, तो हम उसे क्या करते हैं, हमें अपडेट कर लेते हैं मैक्स वैल्यू को, राइट, और विल रिटर्न दिस। तो इफ यू रन दिस, यू विल गेट डेफिनेटली 4। लेट मी शो यू। आप देख सकते हैं 2 आ रहा है, राइट। And if you submit that one, you can also get the max value. Okay, so now you can see once you will submit this code, right, definitely you will get the error. Your test cases will get passed, but you will get the error because some of the test cases will not pass. Okay, so how we are going to accept the our approach, right? So we have to make some changes, and then we will go through the, this is the different approach that we are going to use. That was the naive approach, right? You can try, you can optimize that, you can see how to implement it. That is why I have shared here, but the code that accepted, I'm going to start here. Okay, very first, let's try to understand the high level logic that we have used in the accepted approach. Okay, so we want to find the largest possible frequency of given you can say array in a number, right? So we'll perform some operations and we can find that, we know, right? And we have to use the you can say range from -k to k to get the unique element. So you have to, each time you have to get the element and you have to add into the given index, and that index should not be reused again. This is what we have to find, right? Now you have to convert the element, right? आपको क्या करना है? You have to convert the element into intervals, right? In the very first step. So how we are going to do? So each number nums at I can be changed into any value in the range. कैसे कर सकते हैं? Nums at I minus k, nums at I plus k. So for each index, right, means for each numbers, right, we can change in the range, right? If you do minus k plus k, this will be the range of the given number, right? So think of each element as an interval, not the, we are getting the one value and we are making the range. Better you should think of each element having as an interval on the given lines. If it is possible, it can become or not, right? So we'll think the element as an interval on the number line system, right? And we'll show you all the possible values. I'll show you. So it will come that one or not. So if a value t lies inside the several intervals, so हमें क्या करना है? We have to count how many intervals overlap at each integer value. So benefit क्या होगा? We will understand that these are the values that we can make. You can say it become overlap, and it can become a frequencies. Count get increases with these numbers, you can say. Okay. So if a value t lies inside the several interval, then these elements can all become t, right? So if we'll choose to operate on them, we can find how many intervals that covers each integer using the difference array. So we'll use a difference array and the prefix sum, that is called the sweep line technique, right? How? So for each interval will say start and end, right? So let's say the difference array will create, and we'll say difference array at start will say +1 equal to 1, and different array at n plus 1 is equal to nothing but minus with the 1, right? And then we accumulate the prefix sum of the diff array, we can say the difference array, and we'll get the cover count for each t. How we are getting the cover count? So we'll take a cover count at t, and we'll say number of element that can become t, means the possible means t transform, right? So let's track element already which is equal to each line. So we'll also count how many numbers are already equal to each line. So we'll say exact count, we'll say number of elements where nums at I is nothing but equal to t. Now we have to combine both nums operation in the limits for each possible target value is t. So we can make what? The max frequency is nothing but mean of this value and this value, and we'll do the plus, right? Means cover count, exact count plus number of operations. So we can change at most number of operations distinct elements, and but if we've had infinite operations, we can't exceed cover count, and it become only those interval can reach. If not understanding, don't worry, it's a very simple term. I'll show you, right? Let's suppose we have max, and we'll find the max, and that will be our answer. Let's suppose the very simple, the step is build interval and difference array. So very first step, what you need to do, you have to build the intervals and difference array, right? That will take of n times, and a space will also take. Then we have the prefix sum step that will do the swapping, and then you will find the total. So high level is treat each element as an interval from num minus k and num plus k, and we will find where the most interval overlap, but the limit total changes by nums of operations. Okay, So we'll say the answer is the max t mean. We'll take the mean of cover t and exact count plus this, and you will get the max transform value. Okay, means maximum frequency, you can also say. Okay, so let's suppose how we are going to implement, right? So very first, you know that we have given the nums we have given, right? So these things we have given. Okay, and what you need to do, you have to perform those operations, and then you will find the compute, you can say, right? Means max frequency. So let's suppose the very first thing we have given is nums k and number of operations we have given, right? All are in the integer. So very first we'll do some pre-checks, and we'll use some helper methods also. So we'll understand here. Okay, so if nums is equal to null, right, and nums dot length is equal to 0, we'll return 0, and we'll say int n equal to nums dot length, right? So we will calculate the length also, right? So if nums is equal to 1, we should return 1 or not, right? Because there is a single element is there. So you can also write one more condition. If nums is if n is equal to 1, you can return 1, right? Because that is one element is there. Okay, now we have to compute some global interval span. So we know that each element we have to convert into the what you call the interval, right? So each element, let's call x, we can say, and we'll say okay, x we can get from where, at each element, we can say nothing but the each element. Okay, so we can find the mean and the max. So this is the mean and max for the interval. So we need to examine each interval, that is called we can say we want to find the target, right? In that if you do the union of these intervals, right, if you take the mean and start, right, so we need to examine interval target t, let's suppose, in the union of these intervals. Okay, so what you need to do, we'll say mean start, and we'll add the some positive infinity and the negative infinity, like that we can do that, right? So what you need to do, let's suppose the negative value will start, then the positive value will start. So this number can be anything, right? So we'll say okay, the mean start and the mean start and the max end is the integer range we must sweep. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, next step, we need to do the offset to avoid the negative indices, right? So what you need to do, you will say if the max start could be negative, shift the indices. So we'll set, you will take offset is equal to 0, and we'll say okay, if the mean start is less than 0, we'll say offset is equal to mean start, right? So this mean start we can means this offset, we can also say the mean start plus the offset, which is equal to 0, that you can also get it here, right? So you can update this value also. Okay, so let's suppose we'll take some padding value for the size, right? Because we don't know what will happen in the runtime, right? And for that, we'll take the diff and the exact. So this is the difference array, and so we'll try to cover all the counts, and then we will have the count of the exact values that we have. So we will take these two variables. Okay, so why we have taken let's suppose we want to add this +3 as a safety to allow these difference array. Let's suppose the size is and +1, right? So we are not taking the and +1, but we are directly taking okay size. So we are creating the size here, right? Otherwise we have to write what, the and +1 in the difference array, right? And it will be inside the bound, you can say. But let's suppose if you check the size is fitting in the memory or not, right? So you have to take some constant in the size problem size, we can say, that will it is around, I think, exponential values we have given, right? You can see the constant, right? But if the size can be huge, we have to use the coordinate expressions, and otherwise you will use the padding. So after that, we have allocated these arrays. Why? Because we need to find the difference array for the coverage, as you can see, and then we have to use the exact. So this exact will use the you can say frequency of integer, let's suppose call t, which is equal to index minus offset, right? That we can get. So let's try to understand how we are going to populate it. Okay, so very first for each array, right, each array element, right, what we need to do, you will say okay, x minus k plus offset, this is our start index. Okay, so this is our start index. Similarly, we will find the end index, right? So a start index and index will find, and we'll check. We have to use the clamp. So clamp of S and E, we can say, to the valid indices. Okay, so we'll check the conditions. If S is less than 0, set is equal to 0, means we are doing the clamp, right? Clamps. So if E is greater than size, set the size like that. Okay, and then we will update difference at start index, difference at end index. You will do +1 and -1 like that. We have seen, right? Means we have to see the values, right? We can say. And then similarly we have to find the pause, right? Like x plus offset. If pause is greater than 0, less than size, you will update with the +1. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Okay, then so basically here this is our you can say a kind of what do you call, I forget the term. Means basically we will, once we will find this value, we will update the exact position. Okay, next we will sweep the prefix, right? And to sweep the prefix, we will compute the answer, right? So now we will iterate t from 0 to the size, right? So we'll do that, and then we'll say, okay, each t we have to compute. So we will try to compute the value, and we'll say what is the value that we have each time, right? So we'll say 0 will go to the size -1, like that. We have to iterate over the value, right? Means this t is nothing but as a kind of t minus offset values, we can say, that we have to use. Means we are trying to find the covering value, you can say, right? So like that, you have to find the which is already equal, like that you will find, and then you will find the possible values. And if possible is greater than sign, then you'll directly update the value. Otherwise you will say, okay, just if answer is equal to n, return n. Means you have covered everything, just return the answer. So why we use this mean value right here? So we want to do like the already which is equal and the number of operations we have, right? Means this cover is the total element whose interval includes those t. Only those could be turned into the t, you can say, means that you have transferred. And already we know that some values already, and then we have two number of operations we have. So this total, we can say, is the maximum number of elements you could have equal to t if you use all the operations on the interval covering element that are not equal, that are not already equal. So you cannot exceed the either limit. So you should take the minimum value here. Okay, so there are some edge cases that when you will do the dry run by yourself, you will understand the edge cases and the important details also. Okay, but for now this is very simple things, so you need to just focus. Let's try to understand. Very first, you will take all the basic things as a cases, you can say, to cover the edge cases, and then you will take the overall global interval span, and then you will take the offsets, right? Then you will do the clamping, right? And then you will find this is it already equal or not, then the possible, and then you will check the conditions, and they will return the answer. Okay, so this is what I have in this video, guys. If in case if you need any help, let me know in the comment section. And for now, thank you for watching this video, and please like, subscribe this channel if you new at Expert Funda. Thank you for watching this video.